Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Week 5 in the Dungeons Drogans PvP tournament. Tonight is the first of our two semi-final matchups. The winner of this goes on for a shot at the Drogon Crown. Before we move into this match, allow me to quickly announce that betting is now open for the second semi-finals match, Rekoj versus Rhekd. Place your bets by leaving a comment on any of these three videos. In the northwest corner in the green trunks, we have the Survivor, the veteran of the campaign, Coltaine the Warlord. And in the southeast corner, in the black trunks, we have the Horned One. She had to fight an uphill battle and just managed to squeeze her way into the semi-finals. Sorrow the Wizard.
Alright, John, bring it on. Coltaine was there at the start, and he'll be there at the end. You're going down. And here's a shout out to Massimo for writing a haiku about Coltaine. It goes like this: Coltaine is better than archers at any time, because he is great.
So we'd like to thank Massimo for writing up that haiku. That haiku. Always cool to have fans give back. Alright, combatants, are you ready?
I am ready.
I am ready.
Roll initiative.
Do I get Coltaine's +2?
For one thing, you are out of range. I think it's 10 squares.
10 squares, yep.
So yeah, you're
So-
about 20 squares out of range.
Sora rolls a 12.
I rolled a 12 for Coltaine, but I get that bonus 2 as well, so 14.
Coltaine's Warlord ability, Combat Leader, allows him to edge out Sorrow in the initiative count. So as we move into round 1, Coltaine is up first.
Coltaine moves 5 squares like this and opens the door as a minor action. And then he will move up over there.
Sorrow.
I'm gonna move around and end my turn there.
Round 2, Coltaine.
I'll start by opening this door in front of me, and then moving here.
And our two combatants can now see each other. Sorrow has entered the main central open area, while Coltaine is skirting around the northern edge of the battlefield.
And I'll move over there.
Coltaine taking cover behind a wall. Sorrow can no longer see him. Sorrow is up.
You can't do it!
And I'm gonna ready Ray of Frost for when I see Coltaine and if he's in range.
Why does everyone always do that to me?
Round 3, Coltaine.
Alright, it's time to run head first into some ray of frosting. I'm going to move like so. Oh, where does she first see me? Here, huh?
Yeah, I think you got cover from there. It's a 22 versus Fortitude and hits for 11 cold damage, and you are slowed.
Wow. So when you're slowed, you only have 2 move? Yes.
Yeah.
If I already moved a bit, does that mean I still have, because I had 2 left, it is now down to 2? Or
If you already
if
moved
you're slowed while
more than
moving,
2,
stop if you have already moved more than... Okay, right. Okay.
Coltaine appears within range. Sorrow, take your ready to action.
Alright, I cast the Ray of Frost, and I get a 22 versus Fortitude, hit for 11 cold damage, and he is slowed.
Coltaine down to 34 out of 45 hit points, and his move speed down to 2. Alright, so Coltaine has already moved more than 2 squares, so that effectively ends his current move action, but he still has a minor and a standard left.
And just, see if you can tank it for now.
Coltaine advances further, now only 3 squares from Sorrow. But at his current slowed speed, she might as well be 3 million squares away. Round 4, Sorrow.
I'm gonna move away from it, and then I'm gonna cast another Ray of Frost. Oh, a 9 versus Fortitude, I'm pretty sure that misses.
Sorrow misses, and although she is now further away from Coltaine, in fact, 7 squares away, now that Coltaine is no longer slowed, that distance means nothing. Coltaine.
Coltaine will move like so, And then he's going to charge Sorrow. That's like a +1 on the attack and damage, is it? I have a base
Just to the attack.
Oh, just the attack, roger. So Coltaine charges Sorrow,
And just tick off the charge box.
and that's 21 for 11 damage.
Coltaine brings Sorrow down to 27 hit points.
I'm gonna use my shield ability, which gives me +4 power bonus to AC and reflex until the end of my next turn.
And is that an immediate interrupt?
It is indeed an immediate interrupt.
That brings Sorrow's AC high enough to avoid that attack. Sorrow is not struck. And although Sorrow is not struck, she is in a bad position, backed up against difficult terrain, very few movement options with regards to shifting. Round 5, Sorrow.
Sorrow will shift away from Coltaine and use a Burning Hands ability. This is the first time I'm going to use this. It's a 21 versus reflex and hits for 11 fire damage.
Sorrow scorches Coltaine down to 23 out of 45. Not quite bloodied, but almost there. Coltaine.
Coltaine laughs off Sorrow's attack, inspiring himself. So that's 11 for my surge and a bonus 4 from the 1d6. 15 hit points healed. Okay. So, after the healing surge, Coltaine advances on Sorrow and attacks her with a Viper's Strike. Also, why is she not hurt? Oh, right, because I missed, of course.
Coltaine back up to 38 out of 45.
And that's a 19 for 8 damage.
Coltaine stabs Sorrow down to 30 hit points.
I use my Staff of Defense ability, and it gives me a bonus equal to my Constitution modifier against one attack, and my Constitution modifier is 3.
Sorrow once again avoids being hit, but now she is truly backed up against a wall. There is nowhere now that she can shift to get out of Coltaine's reach. Round 6, Sorrow.
Right, I will move away from him.
That provokes an opportunity attack. Coltaine, if you wish to take it.
I take it, and I roll a 13.
Sorrow dodges as she maneuvers around this collapsed pillar, which is difficult terrain.
And I will use a Ray of Frost. 25 versus Fortitude hits for 10 cold damage.
Coltaine
And
down to
he's slowed.
28 out of 45, and slowed again. Although Coltaine would have been able to move up to Sorrow and attack her, now that he is slowed, he cannot. Coltaine is up.
Alright. This is annoying. Coltaine slowly makes his way up into Sorrow's face again.
Round 7, Sorrow.
Sorrow's gonna move away again.
I will take the opportunity attack. And that's a 15.
Once again, Coltaine misses as Sorrow retreats 30 feet.
And I'm gonna cast another Ray of Frost. Oh, it's a 16 versus Fortitude. If I hit, it's for 10 cold damage, but I don't know.
Not enough to overcome Coltaine's fortitude. Coltaine is up, unslowed.
Coltaine charges into range again, and he attacks with a Viper Strike once more. That's 28 for 10 damage.
That is the equivalent of Trinity putting the gun to the agent's temple and saying, "Dodge this."
Wait, what?
The last 2 times he tried to strike Sorrow, she pulled all these, maneuvers, tried dodging a 28. No amount of crazy abilities will be able to overcome that.
Well, if she had the wish spell, yeah.
I cast my Infernal Wrath, which is another immediate interrupt, and if enemy hits me, it takes 1d6 plus my intelligence or charisma intelligence charisma modifier, whichever is higher, as fire damage. And I rolled a 12 damage.
Coltaine strikes Sorrow down to 28 out of 38, but Sorrow returns the favor, scorching Coltaine down to 16 hit points.
I use the magical ability of my Dwarven Chainmail, which is a free action. It's personal. To spend Healing Surge.
That should bring Coltaine back up to 27, I believe, out of 45. Essentially neck and neck with Sorrow, except still having 1 additional healing power left over her. And that would be the second use of his Inspiring Word.
Well, it's not the second use of my Inspiring Word.
I
I
said
see
you
what
have-
you're saying. I get it. Okay, Yes, that's everything.
Round 8. Next round, the battlefield begins to close in. Sorrow.
Sorrow will shift away from Coltaine and use her Fire Shroud ability. That's an 11 versus Fortitude. I don't think it's gonna.
A fire attack versus fortitude? That's interesting. I thought they were all versus a reflex.
Apparently not this one. Well, I don't think so at least.
My reflex is still better than 11.
Sorrow misses on her encounter power.
Right, well I'm gonna spend an action point. And I'm gonna summon a flaming sphere right about there. And it's going to attack Coltaine.
Here?
Exactly. It's a 25 versus reflex for 18 fire damage.
Sorrow striking with a devastating fire attack, dropping Coltaine to 6? No. 9 hit points.
And also if he stands next to the fireball, he takes a 1d4 plus damage.
1d4 plus what?
It's a 1d4 plus my intelligence modifier damage.
And your int modifier is?
5.
That's a
Why does it say
potential
6?
9 damage.
Because I have a feat where all my fire rolls do an extra damage.
But you're... what? No, but you said it's 1d4 plus 5, except in the description it says 6. You got it. Man,
Right, no,
freaking me out.
because my intelligence modifier is 5, but I also have a feat that anytime I roll damage with fire, I do an extra 1 damage. So total it adds to 6.
So you can be doing a potential 10 damage, right?
Yes.
So as we move to Coltaine's turn, Sorrow's gonna get to roll her damage as the flaming sphere is right next to Coltaine. As he starts his turn, this could potentially take him out right now. Coltaine is up. Sorrow, roll that damage.
It hits for 8 fire damage.
Oh, Coltaine brought down to 1 hit point, meaning he's gonna be able to use both of his healing powers to bring him over 50% HP.
Now, this fire sphere doesn't get an opportunity attack against me, does it?
No, it does not.
I don't think so.
Alright. Coltaine will inspire himself. So again, it's 11 plus 1d6, total of 15.
Bringing Coltaine up to 16 out of 45. Still in the red. In terms of healing, Sorrow and Coltaine are now on equal footing, each only having their second wind. However, Coltaine is more wounded.
So if I move past Sorrow, she can actually take an attack of opportunity against me with her staff?
Indeed she can.
Alright, but if I move around the flaming sphere, it's not going to hurt me, right? Only at the start of my turn? If I'm next to it?
Let's read the power.
It's only when you start your turn you take damage. So if let's say if you end your turn next to the fire, by the time it's your turn again, you're gonna take damage.
Oh, so Coltaine is going to move like so.
How did he move?
Wait.
Gotcha. So that's his minor, his move. He has a standard remaining.
So Coltaine is using his Bastion of Defense power, his daily power against Sorrow. It's 22, and hitting for 16 damage.
Coltaine brings Sorrow down to 12 hit points.
And then I'll use an action point.
Coltaine looking to finish this battle right here and now.
And I'm going to use my encounter power, Guarding Attack, against Sorrow. Alright, Guarding Attack, here goes. I have a critical, so I'm dealing 25 damage on a 30 versus her AC.
Coltaine ending this battle with a bang.
High five.
I called it. I said he'd get a crit.
Coltaine taking advantage of Sorrow's low hit points to deal the finishing blow, stabbing her through the throat with that vicious short sword, and clinching the victory in this first round of this best of 3 series. Stick around for match 2 in this best of 3 series, and don't forget to leave a comment below to place your bets on the Rekoj versus Rhekd matchup, which will be posted next week.